Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Daily Football Zone Live, episode 11. My name is Caleb. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at IHateKeb. I'm here with my fellow co-hosts, Nahum, Jake, and Xavier. They got their names on, their pictures as well. So make sure to follow them. Nahum didn't plug his, but that's all good. How you guys doing today?
I'm doing good.
Doing great.
How was your guys' week? You guys have a good week since we've been on?
Yeah, I finally went outside for once. So.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
You got some sunshine. Well, it was sunny. Now it's all stormy out. But that's California weather for you. One day you got the sun. It feels like it's summertime, and then the next day, you got it all windy and fucking raining and shit. So yeah, it's California for you. But we could be in snow right now and freezing temperature. So I guess we're lucky to have the bipolar weather. Anything else happen with you guys? Jake, you enjoy the weekend? You enjoyed watching all those games?
A lot of football, that's for sure.
Yeah, and now we only get 2 games this weekend on Sunday. So the championship Sunday. So man, we're getting close to the Super Bowl. We're almost there. We got the virtual Madden Pro Bowl before that. So that'll be interesting to see if anyone decides to watch that. I don't think I'm going to be watching it, but. It might be entertaining. Maybe I might just peek in at it for like a minute or two. But yeah, my week was great. I'm sure you guys know what happened with me. For everyone that follows me, I ended up in a car crash on Thursday night. So that's how how my week started. I guess not really week is middle of the week, but how last week ended. Like because I think we went live on Tuesday, right? Last time. So yeah, I'm good. I was with my girlfriend too. We're driving to her parents, and it was right by Qualcomm Stadium too, like right there. So it's like I drove that way just to see the stadium. I was like, I want to make my weekly update on the how they're tearing it down and all that. I wanted to see how it looked. And ended up crashing, man. It was my fault too. Incoming traffic stop like too soon for me to slam on my brakes in time not to hit the car in front of me. But yeah, we're good. It could have been worse. I could have ended up in the hospital. We both could have ended up in the hospital. I just suffered minor scratch on my hand, airbags deployed. My whole hood was fucked up. But yeah, I'm just grateful I'm here today, being able to talk to everybody. So I'm just happy that everything's okay, especially with COVID going on. COVID going on, who knows even if I get a hospital bed right away if something happens. So we're just lucky, and I'm happy to be here today. Yeah, can't take life for granted. That's one thing, man. Can't take life for granted. But we can get into today's segments. We're not going over news around the league today. There's not really that much I wanted to speak on when it comes to the news. But one segment I wanted to go over today, though, was the head coach carousel. And, there's been some hirings as of lately. We haven't covered them really. Right now is going to be the time we cover them. But, yeah, we can start with the first, head coach hiring that happened. Actually, was it Sunday evening? And that was the Los Angeles Chargers. They decided to hire Brandon Staley. And, the Chargers, Nahum is a Charger fan. He represents the Chargers in this group. So how do you feel about, the Chargers hiring Brandon Staley, the now former defense coordinator for the Rams? He's staying in LA. So how do you feel about that, Nahum?
Hey, well, me and most Chargers fans wanted a guy from Buffalo, Brian Daboll, but the Chargers had their sights on someone else. So Brandon Staley, comes from the Rams, coached the number 1 defense in the league. I think they went from maybe the middle of the pack defense last year, went to number 1. He made use of his star players, Jalen Ramsey. I mean, he elevated Ramsey, probably made him with the top corner in the game this year. And Donald had another great year and led they had one of the best, if not the best, D line in the league with the Rams. So I think he knows how to use his players well. He's going to come and he's going to get rid of that cover 3 scheme that we've been using, which has been fucking us over. Excuse my language. And
are you good?
Oh yeah.
I'll say this: is he going to be working with a better quarterback in with the Chargers?
Yeah, most definitely. but a big thing is who he brings in as his offensive coordinator. So hopefully it's Mr. Pep Hamilton. who was the QB's coach last year. I don't know. I think there's rumors of him trying to get someone from the Rams. But a big part in how his tenure is going to work out is who he surrounds himself with, especially on the offensive side.
Yeah, I thought it was an interesting hire. I didn't think they would go with Staley. I don't even remember like seeing reports that they were like even interviewing him or anything. I might have missed it, but I know I saw Dibble, whatever you say his name, Dabble, the guy from the Bills. Okay, you know, you guys even interviewed our offensive coordinator, the Panthers offensive coordinator, Joe Brady. So I saw that too. It looks like he might just stay in Carolina for another year, even though he had multiple interviews with other teams. There's still 2 teams looking for a head coach. Man, it's still possible, but I'm hoping that we can keep him in for another year. We can get into that later, though. But next hiring was not really a shocker. I mean, it's new, obviously. He's obviously new to the NFL, which is Jacksonville Jaguars hiring, you know, Urban Meyer and all the stuff he's done in the NCAA football. You know, how do you feel about that, Xavier? You being a huge college football fan, how do you feel about that hire for Jacksonville?
You know, at first I was pretty confused, and honestly, my feelings really haven't changed towards it.
That'll be interesting for sure, because there's the rumors, you know, that he was going to go with Jacksonville ever since they fired Doug Marrone. He was linked with Urban Meyer was linked with him, but yeah, how you feel? How you think he'd even do in the NFL compared to college?
I mean, at this point, we could only wait and see. I just thought it was surprising, you know, with all the cap space the Jaguars have, all the picks. With the number 1 pick, you know, you're guaranteed to get whatever player you want, and they also have the first round pick from the Rams from the Jalen Ramsey trade. And, you know, I thought with all the assets they had, they would go after, you know, the best known commodity on the market. You know, whether that be, you know, the Arthur Smith for the Falcons, whether that be Robert Saleh, whether that be Joe Brady, you know, whoever's kind of proven themselves in the NFL. Urban Meyer, he is an offensive guy. I don't think he's going to be calling plays, though. I'm pretty sure he's going to use both his coordinators to call plays on each side of the ball. I think Urban Meyer is going to be more of like a CEO type of coach. You know, his offense in college wasn't really a traditional NFL offense. It's more just, you know, get your athletes, your 5-star receivers, get them into space, run screens, a lot of vertical routes, you know, just use your talent to just overwhelm these teams. So I don't really think he's going to be too much of you know, a play caller. I just think he's going to be a culture guy. I just thought it was confusing that Urban Meyer was a choice. You know, he had his investigations at Florida where they were trying to conclude that he may have created a toxic culture. But honestly, we're just gonna have to wait and see. He found a lot of success on the college level. At this point we have no idea how that's gonna, you know, transfer to the NFL. But yeah, I mean, for Urban Meyer, this is a W in my eyes. You know, he gets his choice of number 1 pick. He's obviously probably going to pick Trevor Lawrence. I just think it's kind of confusing with all these assets that the Jaguars have to put their faith in, you know, somebody that hasn't really on an NFL level.
Yeah, because his career in the NCAA, he is 187-32. So man, that's a crazy record, and he is 12-3 in bowl games. But yeah, he never coached in the NFL level, so that's, you know, obviously a concern just due to the fact that it's different, you know, different style of game. But I wanted to ask you this, since you brought up Trevor Lawrence. Do you think there's any possible way that they decide to go with Justin Fields just due to that Ohio State relation?
I don't think so. I mean, Justin Fields hasn't really played with Urban Meyer. They recruited him to transfer, but Urban Meyer wasn't there. I'm pretty sure Ryan Day had already. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Ryan Day played a bigger part in you know, his transfer decision than Urban Meyer. So I don't really see that happening, and I'm pretty sure Urban Meyer, you know, took this job knowing we're gonna get Trevor Lawrence, having a plan. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that'd be a bold prediction though if they did go that route, but I don't see them passing up on Trevor Lawrence either, even though they had that Ohio State connection. But yeah, we'll see what they decide to do. You know, obviously they're going to get a quarterback. That's what they need. Gardner Minshew's not the answer. Neither is Mike Glennon. So, yeah, it'll be interesting come draft time if, you know, they make a shocker or not. You know, and I'm all for it. I'm all for, you know, some big surprises on draft day. But we'll see what happens as the time comes. But on to the next hire from around the league, the New York Jets. They hired former 49ers defensive coordinator Robert Saleh. Jake, how do you like that hire for the Jets?
Me personally, and if I'm a Jets fan, I love this hire, and I thought it was the best hire possible for the Jets. You think about it, he is the complete opposite of Adam Gase. Adam Gase is
No
offensive
doubt.
minded. He's like self-reserved, doesn't say anything. You know,
He just had the weird eyes.
got the weird eyes.
Yeah, them scary eyes. That's all he had.
Got the smell insults going on in a preseason game. And Adam Gase, even in quarterback meetings, it's been said that he doesn't even speak so much to his quarterbacks because with him being a quarterback guy, it's odd to hear something like that. But now you get Robert Saleh, defensive minded, amped every single play. He's all about the details, and this tells me that Joe Douglas wants to keep Sam Darnold for one more year, and that he's going to experiment with Sam Darnold with a coach that is the complete opposite and thinks the complete opposite of what Adam Gase thinks and does. So if Darnold can't, succeed under this new system and under this new coach, then he's out and he gets the axe. But the hire itself, I love the hire, and I love a guy like Robert Saleh for not just a defensive coordinator, but he's as a head coach.
Yeah. Because he had a lot, he had players buy in San Francisco for, on their defense. They like, a lot of them vouch for that guy. Like they liked Salah. So, if he's a team-oriented culture guy, like I feel like, he can win over that locker room. They're going to play for that guy. So,
exactly. Yeah,
it's a good hire, in my opinion.
Yeah, first you had Joe Judge for the Giants, and now you got Salah with the Jets. We got a big culture change coming for East Rutherford, New Jersey, for both teams. And I wouldn't be surprised I would kind of be surprised, but at the same time, I wouldn't be if the Jets went defensive number 2 or if they move back. Because
I think they might move, depending on free agency. I think they might move. I think they should get a receiver. I think they should move back. I don't think they're gonna get quarterback at this point. I think they're gonna stick with Darnold, but they might just say fuck it and not roll with Darnold. But I think smartest decision for their team is either draft a different player at 2 or trade back for like a receiver like Devontae Smith.
I agree. If I'm number two, you got more important positions to aim for than a wide receiver. So why not either go defense or
get that draft capital
move back? Yep.
Yeah, I would say if you wanted to move back and say you wanted Devontae Smith, but he's gone, I mean, you still got like say Jamar Chase or Waddle, and you can possibly get depending on where you trade back at. But yeah, I don't at this point I don't see him getting quarterback unless something changes within the next couple months before the draft. It'll be interesting to see what they decide to do with Darnold, but until then, we can go on to the next head coach that was hired, and that was by the Atlanta Falcons, which was Titans offensive coordinator Arthur Smith. And Nahum, do you think this was a good hire for the Dirty Birds?
I think it was. There's better coaches out there for sure, but I think the Falcons owner wanted this guy, Terry Fontenot, the owner. I think he was big into Arthur Smith for some reason, and I think there's 2 big reasons, at least from my perspective. The Falcons' offense, since losing Kyle Shanahan in 2016 on that Super Bowl run, have gone downhill ever since. Every year, offense has gone downhill, and they've been switching coordinators. I think right after Kyle Shanahan, they brought in Sarkisian. And I think they still made the playoffs that year. After that, Sarkisian left.
Yeah, they haven't made it since 2017. Was the last.
There we go.
Which was a year after their Super Bowl, meltdown.
Sarkisian that year, and they still were riding high off the Super Bowl stud Townsend team. Anyway, the team the offense has gone down every year, and they're looking for someone to change that. So before they had a defensive-minded coach with Dan Quinn, now they're bringing in Arthur Smith, who
offensive-minded
coach. Yeah, when we see what he did
and the talent you have on Atlanta's offense, like there's no excuse why you're not more explosive than what they were. I mean, obviously their defense needs improvement. It got a little bit better towards the end of the year, but obviously it still needs improvement. But Green and Smith, I think, will help their offense for sure. But yeah, the defense is going to be a major concern as well.
But with Arthur Smith, what he did in Tennessee, did the first. I think the Tennessee while he was there had the highest red zone efficiency, and you see what he did with Ryan Tannehill, he turned it over. This is someone who came over from Miami, had maybe one good season out of like 4 or 5 seasons.
I blame Adam Gase.
Probably Adam Gase, but he gets a new coach in Arthur Smith, and he turns around. Is now arguably like top 10, top 15 quarterback. So if Arthur Smith can do something like that, he's going to be calling plays too in Atlanta. So if he can do something like that with Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, then should be happy.
Yeah, it'll be interesting how they get that offense rolling. Yeah, they decide to keep Julio and Matt Ryan, which they've been in rumors that they're going to move on. Who knows? But I think they're going to keep them at least for next year, at least. And it'll be interesting to see what Arthur Smith has to do with, especially with Matt Ryan, and then if they can get their Todd Gurley, if he's ever going to. I don't think he's ever going to be the same at this point. Man, he's a decent back, but he's not the same Todd Gurley when he came in the league and coming out of college. Obviously not. But yeah, it'll be interesting. Who knows? Arthur Smith, he's also a new head coach. He was the offensive coordinator for the Titans, so it's obviously a different game when you're the head coach. But we can get into the next head coach that was hired, which I think was more I guess you say surprising too, which was the Detroit Lions. They decided to hire former Saints tight end coach Dan Campbell, who was also a former tight end in the league. Xavier, did you see that coming, or do you think that's more of a surprise or a bad hire, or you think that's a good hire, or how you feel on this?
Definitely nobody really thought this was going to happen. Because there's a lot of other names out there. Brian Dable doesn't even have a coaching job yet, and he might just stay with Buffalo another year. So, this was obviously a surprising hire. I didn't really know who he was at first, but I did some browsing on Reddit. I actually did some research after the Lions had hired him to be their head coach. And honestly, I said I was confused about, the Jaguars getting this CEO type of coach who's probably not going to call plays. Their success is going to be predicated on their offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator. For this, I think it's a pretty good hire for the Lions. They tried their hand at a defensive-minded head coach with Matt Patricia. That didn't work out. They had Jim Caldwell earlier, who's more of an offensive-minded guy. He had some success, but, they couldn't really win a playoff game with him. But Dan Campbell, I heard he's a pretty big culture guy, and being a tight end coach for the Saints, they've had some pretty good guys come out there. Josh Hill, he's been a pretty good blocking tight end for the Saints. Obviously, he had a huge hand in developing Taysom Hill as a hybrid type of player. Who's really good at receiving. He could run it. He could really do anything. So that could be pretty good for T.J. Hawkinson. The Lions' first round pick a couple years ago, who's been showing pretty good promise throughout the couple years of his career.
Yeah, he had a good second year.
Yeah. I think this is pretty good. I've seen reports about how the Lions are thinking of retaining their offensive coordinator from last season, Darrell Bevell, who took over as the interim. And their offense got better as the season was going, especially after they fired Matt Patricia and Darrell Bevell took over. So I think that would be a good choice to keep him as OC. Just have some familiarity with the offense. Matt Stafford, obviously, with them, you're going to have a good offense. And for the Lions next season, the main thing will be, how this defense will play without Matt Patricia and with the new defensive coordinator. So we'll just see how it turns out. But I think it's a good hire. Dan Campbell is going to be more of that CEO role, like a John Harbaugh or Mike Tomlin. So I think it would be good. We'll just have to wait and see. Nothing's guaranteed, but
yeah, it's gonna be hard for them though, because you do play in a good division with Green Bay, and then Minnesota's all right. They obviously missed the playoffs, but Chicago made the playoffs. They lost in the wild card. They need a new quarterback, so that's one reason. Their offense is obviously the weak spot of that team. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they can do in that division. Just knowing how good it is. You got Aaron Rodgers playing MVP like, so you got to play him twice a year and make sure that defense is ready for him. But yeah, that'll be interesting hire. It was an interesting hire for sure. I didn't think that Dan Campbell would have got he wasn't even a coordinator. He's a tight ends coach. But even special teams coaches make head coaching jobs. You saw that with Joe Judge. So I can't judge him until you see what happens. But we got yeah, those are the hires as of right now. We still got 2 more vacancies, and that's the Houston Texans and the Philadelphia Eagles. Jake, who do you think they might? Which who do you think these teams are gonna roll with? Do you think the Eagles might get I can't think of the dude's name right now. The dude from New England, McDaniels, Josh McDaniels. Do you think Eagles try to go at Josh McDaniels and then Houston Texans try to get Eric Bieniemy, or do you think they might make some surprises, or how are you feeling about these 2 teams?
I was pretty, in regards to the Eagles, I was pretty surprised about Josh McDaniels being their leading candidate thus far at this point in time, because even though he's been a really good coordinator for New England, he's the past couple of seasons his play calling has been in question, to say the least, especially as how the weapons in New England have really diminished over the years, and the talent level's really gone down. So there's questions as to whether or not he can take, a team that doesn't have so much talent, or whether a team is riddled with injuries, over the top. And there's questions of whether he can overcome the obstacle. And as we all know, there's questions with the Eagles medical staff and training staff because of how injured they get every year, especially on the offense side of the ball.
Yeah,
and especially last
year.
So, if guys do continue to get hurt like they have over the past 2 or 3 years, is Josh McDaniels good enough to take the Eagles to at least a win, or at the very least, second place in NFC East? I don't know. And he's had a head coaching job before in Denver, before his tenure as an OC in New England.
He finished 11-17 with Denver. That was his record. So,
and then as for the Texans, they have conducted recent interviews with Eric Bieniemy, and they're waiting on defensive coordinator for Buffalo, Leslie Frazier. That was their latest report. So those are the top 2 candidates for Houston, I would say, and I think they should go for Eric Bieniemy. And if they hire him, I think it gives Watson, their quarterback, at least a little bit more reason to stay. But does it completely change his mind? I don't know. It may be too little, too late. But we'll have to see.
And there's been reports saying that they were having a hard time trying to get someone to want to take that job, with all the, crap that's going on there with the drama and then not having first round pick. And, it's it'll be interesting to see who decides to take that role. And that's also with Philly too. And you have the whole quarterback situation. You got to deal with the whole Carson Wentz issue.
It's also
that might draw people away as well, and you gotta get a coach that's gonna want to, handle all that. So it makes sense why these are the last 2 teams that are vacant.
It's also
having to deal with all that.
Come back to Philly in 2021.
Yeah, it'll be interesting for sure. Yeah, the Carson Wentz issue. I think. Do you think Carson Wentz stays in Philly next year?
You know what? I think at first I thought there was no chance. As the season was coming to an end, but now a couple weeks later, you know what? I'm gonna say yes. I say he comes back for at least 1 more year. But does he start? I'm not sure. It depends on who they hire and whether that guy likes him or not.
How about Deshaun Watson?
No.
You gonna get out of there?
No, I don't think he does. I think it's.
You think he stays?
I think no matter who they hire, it's too little, too late. I think he wants out.
I think he's out of there. Okay. Do you think my Panthers have a chance?
I want them to. I
hope so, man. We can go on a whole discussion on that later, but me personally, I hope so, and I'd give up 2 first rounders for him. No doubt.
For me personally, that's
throwing sewer water with that trade. Throwing a bag of chips too.
See what you want.
Shit, I'll do anything for that trade. This, I don't think a whole draft class like Ricky Williams, but I'd give up a couple first round picks for sure.
You do have a decent trade this year, so.
Yeah, I mean we have a 9th overall pick, so right here's the 8th, 9th. I can't remember, but yeah, that's it for the head coaching carousel. We can go into some comments before we go into the divisional round recap. Damn, I missed the take on Staley. Okay, after the show and we cover everything, we can have a group discussion. You leave your comments and we'll get to everything you guys want to ask or talk about. Nahum. Okay, we got some fans for you, Nahum. You got your fans. Fans are tuning in, and then I'm noticing you, Jonathan. Me and Jonathan are in some run/walk challenge. I'm ahead of him in miles so far, so you need to catch up. I know he was getting on that when I started this, so good thing you're walking and tuning in. But yeah, we can get into the divisional round recap. We had some good games this weekend. From what I remember, I think I went 4-0 in the picks too. So I got all games right. Maybe not the scores, but I got the games right. So I'll give myself a little pat on the back for that. But we can start on Saturday's game. The first game on Saturday was between the 6th seed Los Angeles Rams. They had to travel all the way to the freezing cold Green Bay and take on the 1st seed Packers. And I'm not surprised whatsoever. The Packers won that game 32-18. Nahum, how do you feel about the outcome? Do you think it was going to be different, or how do you feel about that?
I was surprised. I was surprised with the outcome. One thing that I should have, put more stock in was the injury to Aaron Donald. Man, those ribs, I didn't know it was cracked or broken, but damn, you can't play effectively on the D line with the cracked ribs. I mean,
you're getting double teamed.
Yeah, when you get double teamed like that shit is hard. So,
do you think him crying at the end of the game had partial due to him being hurt, or just like do you think that any reason for him crying?
More cracked ribs and him losing. It was probably a mixture of both.
You think he was crying in pain, or just crying because they lost?
Nah, he's definitely crying because they lost. I mean, the Rams thought they had a little run in them this year. Happy to see them leave, happy to see them lose. But Aaron Donald was not as effective as he was in this game, as he was in the last game against Seattle. And center for the Packers, he just became an All-Pro.
Corey Linsley.
What was it?
Corey Linsley, right? The center.
Yeah, probably. But he did a great. Him and those two guards did a great job in the run game. Packers came out often in like those 3-by-1 sets, so 3 receivers, 1 tight end, 1 running back. And they ran the ball well up the middle. They used the motions, the sweeps, the flat, the screens to the flats. And as far as the matchup between Devontae and Jalen Ramsey, going back, I watched some of the film, and Devontae had yards, had catches, but it really wasn't against against Ramsey. That touchdown with the sweep, a good call by Matt LaFleur. He was a good call by the jet sweep on that. No corner really has a chance on that play. And for the rest of the game, Matt LaFleur called a really good game, just utilizing the matchups and finding ways to get good looks in the run game. But yeah, I think the matchup as far as Adams and Ramsey is pretty even.
You got 2 of the best at their position, so man, it was a good matchup for sure. Green Bay is now 7-1 in home playoff games played on Saturday all time, so their odds were, I guess, going to their all-time record. The odds were in their favor, but unless that was like the 2001 Ravens defense, was it 2001, whatever year it was, where the defense carried Trent Dilfer to a Super Bowl victory. It's not the same defense. So the Rams weren't going to carry Jared Goff and his hurt thumb to a Super Bowl. It's not the same. But I'm not surprised whatsoever that the Packers won it. So now they're going to be able to host. I think he said now it's Aaron Rodgers' second time hosting a championship game now in his career, right? I think that was the stat line. Like, this is barely his second time.
Yeah, I'm not
or is it his first? Or is it his first? I can't remember. I think it's his first or his second. I can't remember what it was, but that was for the first game. Now we got actually before we get to the second. What were we gonna say? You said Jay? First one?
Yeah, it's his first one at home.
Okay, yeah, I thought so. I thought it was like his first or his second. Yeah, it's first. Okay, so that's a crazy, actually kind of a crazy stat line to think, like, how Aaron Rodgers, barely his first, So before we get into the second game, Jake, I just wanted to say I got an alert that your boy Devlin Hodges tweets goodbye to Pittsburgh. So just wanted to update you on that. Duck Hodges, it looks like he's not returning to Pittsburgh next year.
Thank you for your services, Duck. It was fun watching you last year, but so what? At the end of the day,
you weren't the future star for that team. So, Well, we can get into the next game. The Saturday night game is between the 5th seed Baltimore Ravens at the 2nd seed Buffalo Bills. The Bills won that game 17-3. I'll give it to you, Jake. You watched that game. You happy to see the Ravens go out? I know you thought Ravens were gonna win, right?
Yeah, I had the Ravens winning the Super Bowl. When the
Oh yeah, I'm winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I did. I had them going on a big run, and I thought, especially after winning that first playoff game in the Lamar era against Tennessee, I thought they were just going to go
Carry it out.
I thought it was going to, just carry it out, and watching that post game Clay's Campbell interview, him getting hyped up for Lamar and the team, I just thought, something special.
Why not? might be that year, surprise the league. But yeah, they even score a touchdown. And to think, no, I mean Lamar, he got hurt in that game at the end, towards the end, but like he still played majority of the game. And Buffalo's obviously defense isn't as good as Baltimore's, with to not even score a touchdown on them. Like I think that's the most surprising out of it all. I mean, I figured it'd be a low scoring game, which it was, but like I thought you'd lead, which they almost scored the touchdown, which goes from the 101-yard pick six by Teron Johnson. But other than that, it's like you'd think they would have at least one touchdown in the game. But the Bills defense did their thing.
Yeah, and this game didn't end up being the big fireworks that we all thought it was going to be. It ended up defensive battle, and at halftime it was 3-3, and then Buffalo came out in the second half and just scored 14 unanswered points and shut out Baltimore, and kept them out of the end zone, like you said. The Ravens offense, though, it was just they went back to their form where they were at midseason before their hot streak. They were just so one-sided, relying on the run game, and even their run game didn't go anywhere. I mean, Lamar he kept the ball 9 times for 35 yards. I think one of them was for about 15. So the rest of the game, he had 8 carries for 20 yards, and that's not going to win the Ravens any football game as long as he's the quarterback. And then on the passing game, Greg Roman, the OC, he just everyone's slandering Lamar because, I mean, for the average fan, it's like the most instinctive thing to do, right? Just point at Lamar, give him all the blame. But really, it was a terrible game called by Greg Roman. He didn't get his receivers open whatsoever. Not even Mark Andrews, one of the most like top class tight ends in all of football. He was barely a factor in that game, and Lamar gets blamed for the pick six. It was a bad throw in the end zone. I didn't really know what he was looking at there, but ultimately this game's on the OC. He just did not let Lamar, loose. He just didn't expand the playbook enough in this game, and I don't know if it has something to do with pressure when it came to Lamar and Jackson, but I think it was just poor play calling on the part of Roman. And then, the Bills offense, on the flip side, Allen and Diggs, they connect for the touchdown that just ended up, just like sealing the deal basically before the pick six. And, the Bills defense, they played really well. And ever since, I think it was that Titans game back in week 5?
Week 5 or 6, week 4 or 5, 6.
Yeah. Ever since then, their defense just picked up the whole rest of the year. And we didn't expect their defense to rebound after that Titans game. We were just like, okay, their defense is on a decline. They've been good for many years, but.
And that's around the time that, Josh Allen was kind of slumping too for a little bit.
Yeah.
After he had like the first 4 games, he was hot.
And the Bills linebackers, Edmonds, Klein, Matt Milano, they had the speed all game long to keep the containment on Lamar Jackson from getting, the good angles outside and, running along the boundaries. The linebackers, they have perfect angles on Lamar Jackson all game long, every single carry he made. And, they're just flying up and down the field, sideline to sideline. Whoever got the ball, I thought those 3 linebackers for Buffalo were really, the MVPs of this game for the defense.
I would say one thing that kind of impacted this game was Justin Tucker. He missed 2 field goals, right? Or just 1? 2. So those 2 field goals, he makes those 2 field goals. That's a 1-score game. I mean, you would have to rely on Tyler Huntley. Shout out Tyler Huntley. Yeah, he got that Utah helmet in the back, but Utah legend. Me being a Utah fan, but I was hoping maybe he would do something. I wanted the Bills to win it, obviously, but I was hoping he would do something at the end of the game to try and make him come back, just because I was trying, root for him. But yeah, if he made those field goals, if Tucker made those field goals, it'd be a one score game. They just needed a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie the game. So I mean, those were all obviously crucial missed kicks by Tucker, who's usually clutch. Which I'd say the broadcast booth obviously jinxed him, which it seems like they always do when it comes to kickers. But yeah, those were two crucial kicks that he missed, and he's usually he's an elite kicker, and he usually makes those. So that was yeah, it was unfortunate for Tucker and the Baltimore Ravens, but yeah, that was the matchup for Saturday night. Bills will be heading to the AFC Championship for the first time since was it 93, 94? First time since. So it's been a long time for the Bills. But we can get into the Sunday afternoon game. It was another AFC matchup, and that was between the 6th seed Cleveland Browns and the 1st seed Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs won that game 22-17. Xavier, I know you don't like the Chiefs, but they got the dub. I know you're probably rooting for the Browns, but the Chiefs got the dub with Chad Henne. Chad Henne put his team on his back especially on that third down run that left them a yard short, but they still ended up getting the first down. But how do you feel about that, and how do you feel about them going to play the host of Buffalo Bills? Do you think Patrick Mahomes is going to be able to clear concussion protocol in time, or what are your thoughts on this game, this matchup specifically?
As a longtime Chiefs hater, this game was a pretty big tease. I think the big thing here is that the Chiefs were just moving the ball at will. Just later in the game, the Browns couldn't really stop them. Obviously, when Chad Henne came in, the Chiefs slowed down a bit, and then I thought the turning point was going to be the Carl Joseph interception. I don't really know what Chad Henne was really doing on that play. The safety was there lurking, so. It was just a pretty dumb decision. I'm just like, man, this is how being a backup for Mahomes. Yeah, and I'm just like, I thought the Browns were gonna take it, but like I said, the Chiefs were able to move the ball at will, even when Chad Henne was in. And I think the credit for this game, I think, goes to Andy Reid more than anybody. Especially on the 4th and inches play to steal the game. They just thought they were going to try to draw them off sides, but Andy Reid, took the risk and called the play on there, and the Browns were completely caught off guard, and it was an easy completion to Tyreek Hill. And so yeah, that's about how the game went, kind of how everybody thought. Obviously nobody was expecting Chad Henne to come in and do what he did, but he did.
Everyone pretty much thought Chiefs were going to win, but once Mahomes went down, it's like they got a chance now. The odds are like now the Browns got kind of a chance now, which you saw that they're coming back, and they could, and they punted it with like 4 minutes left, and then they just couldn't get off the field, and the Chiefs just killed the clock at that point, which some people are saying they should have went for it. It was like 4th and 11, but they're still on their side of the field, so I mean I understand why they punted. Some people wanted them to go for it, but like you're on their side of the field, just punt the ball. You have 4 minutes. You just need to get a stop, but the Browns couldn't stop their Chad Henne, which you'd think they would be able to with Chad Henne, but when you got Chad Henne putting the team on his back, almost rushing for the first down, and then having Tyreek Hill and that speed to just easily trick that team, get open, catch a simple catch for a couple inches, like it's hard to stop that, but. Yep. Now we can go over. We're going to cover the conference championship game later. I'm sure Patrick Mahomes will probably play, but if he doesn't, that's a big.
They'll find a way to suit him up.
Yeah, that'll be a big loss though, and the odds might go to Buffalo like by a lot if Mahomes can't play that. But I hope he does, because that'll be a good shootout between both teams. But yeah, that was the last AFC game of the divisional round. So it'll be the Bills at Kansas City Chiefs on Sunday. But that last game of the divisional round was between 2 old heads, which was the seed Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the 2nd seed New Orleans Saints, and the Bucs won that game 30-20, which I was kind of happy about. We had our boy Chef in last week. We might have to bring him on again sometime soon to talk about the Bucs, but he called it by 14, ended up being 10, so he was almost correct, and then a lot of people probably thought he was crazy saying that. I didn't think it'd be 10 points. I thought maybe a touchdown or a field goal, but I didn't think it'd be 10 points, but more the better, I guess. I didn't mind watching Breeze go out that way. I know a lot of people were kind of sad, because Drew Brees been doing it for a while now, but I was kind of happy because, like, yeah, thank God. Well, he's expected to retire. Who knows if he is, but if he's gonna retire, I was kind of happy. Like, I'm gonna see his face no more 2 times a year, and I'm kind of happy. We're gonna have Brady for one more year. because he's gonna stay one more year with Tampa. But Nahum, I know Breeze used to be your boy. He used to be a Charger fan. He used to be a Charger. You're a Charger fan. How do you feel about this game? How did you shed it? Were you one of those people that shed a tear in this game, or how you feeling about it?
Oh man, I was happy to see him go. I'm happy to see him. I mean, I love it. I over everything, love to see good football. So just like Manning, his last year,
fuck that year, man.
It was a shame to watch him play. That defense was crazy, but Manning was like, all right, you got to go. Breeze,
get the fuck out of here, man. I'm sick of your fucking face.
He cannot throw deep. He cannot throw over maybe like 20 yards. And
Michael Thomas had 0 catches.
Michael Thomas is yeah. There you go, man. Michael Thomas, he was injured though. I mean, there's reports coming out that he played through injuries for Breeze's last season.
Give Carlton Davis his respect. And Sean Murphy Bunting or whoever the fuck lined up. I don't want to hear the injuries. He's been back. Show the Tampa Bay corner some respect.
There's still other receivers. There's still Sanders and there's still
who? Sanders?
The punt returner that had he did a good job.
Harris, he was out from the first half though. Like I don't think he ever returned, did he? I remember seeing that he was like injured at one point after those punt returns.
Traquan Smith.
Yeah, Traquan Smith was the one.
Okay. Yeah, those corners did a really good job on Jared Cook too, especially with that.
Yeah, give Tampa Bay corners their respect. Even though he had a blank stat line, he didn't have nothing. He had not one catch, and he ended up getting picked off to a pass that was to him, which was obviously Breeze's fault. But he didn't have one catch.
Yeah, I've heard that. They got the old slant boy. They locked him up.
Slant boy. There you go. That's what I like to hear. Slant boy.
Shut down the slants, the curls, and after that, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, throw to somebody else.
The front seven of the Buccaneers, they always come to play every week. I think they always come to play. Those two linebackers, Devin White.
White, he baller, man, for sure.
And the other
Great
one.
pick for them.
His name was Levante David. Yeah, they came to play. And so with them shutting down the run game, doing a decent job against the run game, shut down the pass game, and Brady was able to make some plays on offense.
Yep. Breeze threw 3 interceptions. That Jared Cook fumble, I think, was what switched the momentum for sure. That was a crucial fumble that gave the Bucs momentum, and they ended up picking off Drew Brees 3 times, including the 2 that was it like the last 2 drives for the Saints were interceptions, right? For what I remember. I know the last one was, but I can't remember if the one before that was an interception as well.
Last one, was it interception or turnover on downs?
No, it was interception on the last drive. I just can't remember if there was an interception on the drive before that too.
I think it was the Devin White one, right?
Yeah.
Oh, is that okay?
But yeah, I want to see the Bucs lose because obviously I hate the Bucs too. I just hate the Saints more, so I'd rather see the Bucs lose in the championship. I respect Brady more than Breeze. Sorry, Breeze. I mean, I respect you too, but Brady's obviously the GOAT compared to you. So
the Bucs offense though, it really got rolling. The more they started running the ball, that old line, Ryan Jensen up front, he's a mean dude, and he was able to him and the other guys in the O line. I mean, Ali Marpet and Tristan Wirfs on the left side.
Yeah, it's getting kind of chippy in that game too, especially with the offensive line for the Bucs, and then the Saints defense. Like I know that white linebacker. They have the dude that sounds like a pasta, like a noodle. Anzalone. He sounds like a pasta. He sounds like a noodle. I think of pasta when I hear his name, and he's getting chippy. I know Gardner Johnson, he's always chippy. So man, they're getting chippy with the linemen. And then there's a video going around Twitter about like C.J. Gardner Johnson hitting Leonard Fournette's kidney. People are saying he's trying to punch for the ball, which I understand that too. But you aren't punching the ball, so you're still playing dirty. I'm still gonna say it. Just knowing who you are, obviously you're gonna get that criticism, even if you're trying to punch for the ball. But I guess on the video he's like punching his kidney or whatever it was. But yeah, it was getting chippy though. That Anzalone dude, man, he's kind of pissing me off. I was obviously rooting for the Bucs, so when I saw him like pushing people and shit, I was like, fuck that dude up, But yeah, it was a good game. Yeah, Breeze, he kind of went out like Dan Marino, and when he played his last game against Jacksonville, they lost like 62-7, and Dan Marino threw like 2 picks. Now Breeze, you lose by 10. You're probably your final game threw 3 picks as well. So it's like not the way you want to go out. We can get into the comments though. Please, no more Brady. I'm tired of it. Get him out of here. Hey, I'm with you, but I'm happy Breeze is going out first. But We got some more hate on the Bucks. That's why I throw it in. It's relevant. I want Bucks, and I agree, man. I want the Bucks to lose to Green Bay. I want to see Bills versus Green Bay in the Super Bowl. That's my hope. What I'm hoping for. But yeah, I just want to catch up on the comments. Make sure you guys feel the love. Your interactions always appreciated. My man Nehu, man, you got groupies out there. You got fans, man.
Yeah,
Shout out to you.
I'm gonna have to shut them up. I'm gonna tell them
Yeah, that's the that was the recap for the divisional round. There's some good games. Now we're down to the championship weekend, man. We got championship preview. You guys ready for that this Sunday? You got 2 more games. 2 more games left of the regular the playoffs, and then you got the Super Bowl. It's gonna be exciting. But yeah, we can get into the conference championship preview. I was gonna throw usually we do our previews in a different episode, but since it's only 2 games, we're just gonna throw it in here. So I got plans this week, so I don't think I can do another episode this week. Maybe, but might as well just throw it in now if we're talking about 2 games. But yeah, the first game that's on Sunday, they're both on Sunday, so don't expect football on Saturday. There's no football this week on Saturday. But man, what was that? It sounded like windy as hell. Hit my door and shit. Yeah, if you're in California, Southern California, it's windy as hell right now. So if y'all watching, y'all can relate. But yeah, the first game is on Sunday. And it's between the 5th seed Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the 1st seed Green Bay Packers. And I'll let you roll with that, Jake. How you feel about this game and who you got?
Man, don't make me choose.
I'm choosing Green Bay. I'm choosing Green Bay by a touchdown.
Brady, Rodgers, man, who goes out? Who gets their last chance at a Super Bowl in their career?
I'll tell you this: it's that divisional round game. That was the Bucks' first win since 2002, which they did win the Super Bowl. So I just want to throw that out there. You think that can have some relation?
And
who you got?
I just want to say this about the Packers real quick. Last week against the Rams, they proved me wrong about when I knocked down their lack of physicality. That's them playing more finesse style of football rather than getting up there and just like getting in the grills of people and getting physical. They proved me wrong against LA, and I'm sorry about that. Rodgers, McFleur, I'm sorry about that. You guys proved me wrong, and because of that, that makes the game a lot more interesting. Because remember in Week 5, the Bucks, they just
unanswered points,
completely handled the Packers physically
after being down 10-0.
Yep. And I'm hearing rumors that the Bucks are getting Vita Vea back this week.
Yeah, they designated him to return, so that's a big
and their running defense, it's still been great, regardless. So to get him back in the mix, the Packers are gonna have to go with a mix of a speedy Aaron Jones and a bit of power with AJ Dillon. And I should have seen that coming, by the way. Versus LA, I should have known that they were going to throw in AJ Dillon in the mix. Kind of reminds me of that Sunday night football game versus Tennessee where he ran for like 160 something yards and a touchdown or 2. So all I know is that they are going to involve him a lot. AJ Dillon, he's going to get his. The Bucks secondary, they showed up against the Saints, but I don't think it's been quite as good as it was back in Week 5 when these last 2 teams played.
Yeah, I think this is gonna be a totally different matchup compared to that first matchup. No doubt, it's gonna be a closer game. Well, it should be.
I think I'm gonna go Green Bay. That's my first. I'm leaning towards Green Bay. I'm gonna go. Not the highest scoring game in the world, to be honest. I'm gonna go. I don't think either team goes over 30. I'm going to say
something like 21, 24 or something like that, you think?
27 Green Bay, 23 Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I can see that happening. I think we need to give Matt LaFleur his respect because his first 2 years in Green Bay, he's gone to the championship game. Maybe this could be the year he wins it.
And I said McFleur, by the way.
You thinking McFlurries right now, man. Dessert time for you, man. You getting hungry over here. You're craving your sweets and shit. No, but
I don't even go to McDonald's. So
I'm on my keto diet. I can't have it, man. But you're making me crave it right now.
Oh, right on.
But yeah, I just want to hear who do you guys got X and Nahum. Who do you guys got in this game? I'll let you start, Nahum.
The Bucks, man, especially with Vita Vea back. Oh, at least maybe like by 10 points. Might be close. I don't know.
Okay. I got me and Jake got Packers. You got Bucks. How about you, Xavier? You got the Bucks. You got the Packers.
Man, I've been picking like the Packers in every game. I feel like so far this season, and I think I'm gonna lean towards them again. I'm pretty conflicted on this game, but the Packers have my trust at this point, so I'm going to the Packers in a close one.
I'm actually thinking about it right now, and I want everyone that's watching or watches the replay to take notes and save what I'm about to say right now. I want you guys to save it. I think Packers are gonna win it. Buccaneers are gonna lose. Tom Brady's obviously gonna play one more year in Tampa Bay, and then his final year at Tampa Bay, they're gonna go. They're on. That's when they reach the Super Bowl. They're like the storylines. Oh, they're one game short of the Super Bowl. Blah blah blah. Lost to Green Bay. Then next year, Tom Brady gets the Super Bowl and goes out a winner. I just feel like it's gonna happen. I feel like he'll go out a winner before he wins it this year. So that's the storyline.
He's not gonna win this year.
Nahum, just go with it. And then when it doesn't happen, you can give me all the shit. But until then, I'm trying to roll with that storyline. Okay, I feel like it's gonna be Tom Brady's one game short in his first year with Tampa. Now his second year, his last year, he goes out a winner. Like I just the NFL needs headlines, and I feel like that's what it's gonna be. Packers winning 28-14. I don't know if it's gonna be by 2 touchdowns, Darnell James, but it might be 28-21, 28-24, but I don't honestly see it being a 2-score game like that. But I think it'd be close. But we can get into the next game on Sunday, which is the AFC side of things, which is the 2-seed Buffalo Bills at the 1st-seed Kansas City Chiefs. And Xavier, I know you hate the Chiefs. You got them going to the Super Bowl, or you got your boy Josh Allen reaching the Super Bowl?
So before I get into that, I thought it was interesting how the Vegas spread for this. The Bills are the favorites, so I'm not sure if I'm not sure if Vegas knows something that we don't. This game will be very dependent on Patrick Mahomes' health. I think
reason for it too.
Yeah. I really think if Chad Henne goes out there and starts, I think the Chiefs will have a chance. They have all that offensive pieces, around the quarterback. I just don't really see them pulling it off against a Bills team that's perhaps one of the hottest, or perhaps the hottest team in the league right now. Yeah, this game's gonna go either way. If Patrick Mahomes plays, it's gonna be a shootout. It's gonna be one of the games of the season to watch. If not, I'll be very surprised. Personally, I have the Bills. I think the Bills are a much better team than the Browns.
So did you say Bills win with Mahomes?
Yeah, I think Bills win regardless.
Okay.
Yeah,
regardless, don't matter if Mahomes suiting up or not. You got all your faith in the Bills. Okay.
I've only missed one game this whole playoff run, so I think I deserve the benefit of the doubt here. Yeah, it'll be a good game for sure. Even with Chad Henne, with Mahomes, I see the Bills pulling it off. I see them as the harder team. I think the Bills have the better defense. The Chiefs have the better offense, in terms of talent, but the Bills' offense has played better through the course of the season. I think the only 2 offenses that have played better than really the Chiefs have been the Bills and the Packers. And my Super Bowl prediction will be the Bills and the Packers. I'm not sure who I have taking it right now, but I'll think about that.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Mahomes plays or not. I think I want Bills to win it, but if Mahomes plays, concussion or not, this is hard. I think that would for sure be a close game. If not, I don't think it'll be the same outcome as the first matchup. I think it'll be a closer game. But I'm rooting for the Bills. I like the Bills. I like Josh Allen. I know I received some flack for putting Josh Allen on the number 10 on my quarterback list heading into the year, specifically by Xavier. But, at the end of the day, I was wrong because he shouldn't have been number 10. He should have been at least number 3. But I just wanted to put that out there because we were both wrong. But what's it called? Yeah, and if say if is the Packers and Bills, who do you got winning that? Do you think Josh Allen will win a Super Bowl in his third year, or Aaron Rodgers wins his second?
I think it would be pretty cool if the Bills win their first Super Bowl. I think, like I said, I've been the highest on the Packers this entire season. You know, they've honestly been my number one team throughout the season. A lot of people had, you know, Kansas City at the top. A lot of people had the Bills as the number one team. I've been higher on the Packers than most other people this season. I think, you know, they have what it takes to win it all.
If Josh Allen wins the Super Bowl in his third year, where does that rank him?
In terms of quarterbacks right now?
Yeah.
I think he stays about the same. I mean, people know he has it in him. Right now he's a top 5 QB, top, you know, potentially top 4. There's not really too many quarterbacks, you know, playing better than him. I think the main thing for him will just be to be, you know, consistent from year to year. I think, but we all know that, you know, he has the talent and he has it in him to win a Super Bowl. You know, you gotta catch the team on the right year.
Yeah. You know, if Mahomes don't play, it'll be a big loss for Kansas City. You know, it's hard because of the concussion. I feel like back in the day they'll throw him in there, fuck the concussion, but these days, you know, obviously they're, you know, try to be more strict with, you know, people playing with concussions and being able to pass the protocol and all that. So I think they said Wednesday is when they'll know, right? I think they said they'll know if he for sure like plays or not. I thought I saw
He's gonna practice tomorrow.
he's gonna practice tomorrow.
Yeah, I guess we'll see how it goes from there.
Part of me is like I don't want him to play just because I want the Bills to go, but like, you know, I kind of want it to be a fair matchup. So, but then what happens if Chad Henne plays and actually gets the dub? Like, I mean, obviously Mahomes will play the Super Bowl, but that'll be, you know, a crazy headline that, you know, Chad Henne got the dub and, you know, takes his team to the Super Bowl. Well, for that game, obviously not the whole year, but, you know, led their team to get to the Super Bowl. But yeah, that's the conference championship matchup preview. There'll be a good set of games. The season's about to end. We're about to get into, you know, free agency talk, draft talk, you know, off-season talk, and I'm excited for that. Yeah, if you don't follow the page, our Instagram page, it's Daily Football Zone. Our Twitter's Daily FZ. You can check out the website at www.dailyfootballzone.com. If you don't know by now, that's the you know, I'm plugging in the social media for you guys to keep up with us. Thank you for everyone that's tuned in. We're gonna get into our discussion very quick, but yeah, make sure you know, share it to your friends, you know, spread it on your social media. Make sure people can come interact, especially when it comes to our discussion topic, which we have one for you guys today. For the people that are watching, if you want to chime in, feel free. We'll make sure to put you guys on the air. Put your comments on the air so we can discuss it as well. Which is today's discussion was brought to you by our good pal Jake, because you know, he always comes up with the good discussions for us, right? Which is
Not last week.
last week was mine, but discussion for today is for your team. I'll let Nahum start off though. For your team, what offense and defensive player would you trade for and why? So 2 players, 1 offense, 2 defense. I know Jake said he wanted to do non-quarterback, so if you want to do a non-quarterback, feel free. Obviously your team don't need a quarterback, so you could do a non-quarterback. But yeah, who would you do for offense and then defense?
Yeah, that's pretty easy, man. For my team, the Los Angeles Chargers, give me that left tackle over in Green Bay, David Bakatari. I don't even know how to pronounce his last name.
Bakhtiari. Healthy Bakhtiari, because I know he tore his ACL, right? Or his ACL recently, right? So yeah, David Bakhtiari.
Yeah.
Obviously, that help for
the game, or I mean, he's been getting the first team All Pro the last few times, so I think he's the best. I mean,
he's obviously the best tackle.
Yeah, and there's Trent Williams of the Niners is good. There's other good left tackles. As far as defensive players, a good 3-tech. So DeForest Buckner. I think having a player like him just makes your defense better, like tremendously. And there's reports that I've seen on Twitter about Chargers potentially moving to 3-4 with Staley coming in. So you need a good 3-tech. We have Linval Joseph. He's big. He should be really good.
Also older.
So give me the best in the game right now, DeForest Buckner on the defensive side.
I feel like those would be two good players for you guys. You obviously need to protect Justin Herbert. You don't want him to end up like Joe Burrow because obviously their line sucks and you saw what happened. You couldn't even finish a fucking year. But yeah, you need to protect Justin Herbert. So again, yeah, solidifying that that blind spot, making sure Herbert has time to throw and doesn't get wrecked from the back. That's a good player for your guys' offense. You already got Eckler. Some are still skeptical if he's an every down back, but Justin Jackson's decent, and so is Joshua Kelly. You guys drafted out of UCLA, which you're familiar with since you're a UCLA student. Have you ever met Joshua Kelly?
No, I haven't, but I've heard he's a good guy. I've heard he's a quiet, hard worker. That's what I've heard.
Yeah, so yeah, you got the running backs, you got the receivers. You need to figure out the tight end if you're gonna keep Hunter Henry or move on from him. You guys might draft a tight end if say Kyle Pitts falls to you guys at what is it, 14 you guys are at? 13?
13.
13? Kyle Pitts is there. You guys might get him if you guys don't bring back Hunter Henry, so that'll be interesting to see. How about you, Xavier? Who would be your offensive and defensive player you trade for? You could be a non-quarterback, or you can, if you want to do a quarterback, go ahead and put it out there.
For the Raiders, our offense is pretty complete right now, but I think a player that could take it to the next level, Devontae Adams. He's a type of receiver that Derek Carr will throw to. I mean, Derek Carr, he throws to the open guy. He really only throws the contested ball really when he has trust in them. The production we've been getting on offense has mostly been through our tight end position. Darren Waller. We either keep him at tight end so he could burn a linebacker, or we split him out at wide receiver so he could get up and go over a 5'10" DB. But if we had Devontae Adams, we wouldn't have to worry about that. We'd have a really good receiving threat on the outside, and we'd have mismatches. I'm not counting out Henry Ruggs. Obviously, he's a different receiver though. He's gonna be that deep threat.
Yeah.
If he develops, but Devontae Adams.
Think Ruggs would be a true? You don't think Ruggs would be a true number one?
I think he can be a true number one.
Obviously, Devontae Adams is better, of course, but.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're two different receivers. I think especially with like these NFL teams and how it's a passing league, it's really good to have those different types of receivers. Tyreek Hill is what a Henry Ruggs can become if everything goes right. So I'm not counting out. I'm not one of those guys who looks at a player's height and is like, yeah, no, they can't be like a true number one. I don't really think that. I think Henry Ruggs has what it takes. The big thing with him will just be development. But yeah, if we had Devontae Adams, we wouldn't have to worry about splitting Waller out wide to get like production from the wide receiver position. And especially if we're not going to keep Aguilar, then Devontae Adams would definitely be the best player we can get for our team. As for defensive player, our defense has a lot of holes.
I would say you definitely, compared to your offense, you definitely need a defensive player.
Yeah, it's a whole different situation on both sides of the ball. I think with a team with so many holes, you got to pick the position that will have the most impact. And I think either that will be, a secondary player. I was really thinking, Jalen Ramsey would be, really good with, Trayvon Mullen. That'd be a pretty good secondary. Obviously, the safeties aren't really good, but, Jalen Ramsey, he'll shut down a whole side of his field. So, but he's not going to be my pick. I think what this team's lacking, we're lacking in a lot of places. So this is really hard.
It's like, what do you think is lacking more?
A pass rusher, I think I'm not
these
really.
Days you need rotation in your pass rushing. So it's like, if you can have a couple good guys, like, that's always helpful for your defensive line. So, I mean, you have Farrell and you have Crosby, but obviously you need another guy.
That's what I was thinking. I'm not sure if I would pick an outside pass rusher or like an edge player or an interior one, but I think, Cleveland Farrell specifically has shown a lot more than Max Crosby, and Cleveland Farrell is going to be a good player. The jury's still out on Max Crosby, but he's a 4th round pick, so he didn't really have too many expectations, going into the NFL. So I think Aaron Donald would be the pick here. Obviously, he's the best player in the NFL.
Change that D-line for sure.
Yeah, and I mean you could
drawing double teams alone is just going to help the other guys. So
Yeah, I mean, you could call me, anything for picking Aaron Donald. I mean, it's
Jay
an obvious pick.
Donald.
But I mean, for other teams, Aaron Donald wouldn't be the obvious pick. I feel
Yeah.
like even like with Nahum, the Chargers have a good pass rush already. Well, they have good pass rushers. They just gotta keep consistency. So you're not gonna pick Aaron Donald for the Chargers. You're gonna pick what you think will be the best position for them. But for the Raiders, I feel like we have to get the player with the most impact. With the holes we have, so I think Aaron Donald would be the pick here.
Would you say Ruggs needs more consistency?
Oh, definitely. I mean, not all receivers are going to be, good from, year one. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of receivers who didn't really have a good start to their career. You even see Devontae Parker. It took a good like 5 years for him to break out. Yeah, I think. I mean, Gruden's an offensive guy, so he's obviously going to oversee Henry Ruggs' development. He had some splash plays. He definitely wasn't, the most consistent player. He only really had a couple games where he showed up. I feel like a lot of that is, they haven't really found a good way to incorporate him into the offense. With another year under his belt, we'll see how it turns out.
Is Tyreek Hill the reason why you took him? Do you think?
I think Tyreek Hill definitely had an influence. I wouldn't say he's the primary reason. I feel like, Gruden's just doing Gruden things. He wanted that deep threat. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's always the Raider way, go speed, right?
Yeah, the old Al Davis mantra.
Yeah,
typical Raiders. But yeah, for everyone that's watching, feel free to leave comments what you guys would do or how you feel about what we do. Always feel free to interact. We'll put you on the screen. Thanks for everyone that has so far. But we can get into your since this was your discussion, I'll save you for third last because I still gotta do mine. But Jake, who would you trade for offensively and defensively for the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Well, to start, for offense, our receiving core is fine. And not only are the receivers really good, they're really young as well. Juju is actually our oldest receiver at 24, which is insane to think about. You got, I think Claypool's 22 or 23, Deontay's 23 or 24. He may have turned 24 this year. Washington's 24. So you got a whole bunch of youth on the receiving core and a whole bunch of upside. So that position's set. Every other position, though, it needs a reboot, to say the least. Running back.
Would you go for a running back? I know you said at first you said non QB. Are you gonna go against that and do QB, or are you going running back or offensive lineman?
I'm not gonna go QB. I'm gonna have some fun with this. I'm gonna trust in my team to, do their work and do their research and find the successor to Ben themselves. As for running back, James Conner is very inspirational. I love his story, but he has no juice. He's not it. He's not a Steelers running back. He has the mentality of a Steeler, which of course I love and is, I severely respect that. But in terms of having the juice of a running back, he doesn't have it. And it's sad that we only got to see 1 year of that in 2018. I have no idea where it went. But, I wish he were great, but he just needs a bit of a better O-line to, help him produce, unfortunately. So this takes us to our offensive line, which is our biggest weakness, I think, more than running back, because to have a good running game, to have a good offense in general, it all starts with the O-line. And
show them big men some respect.
Yeah,
not the flashiest, but they get the offense rolling. So,
and also considering, all the players that are going to be free agents over the spring, all the players that we need to let go or think of re-signing, I'm gonna go with youth here. Go with someone who's still on his rookie contract. I'm gonna go with a lineman who plays left tackle, and he's huge. He's huge. He will put fear into a defense. He runs people over in the run game. He's a great pass protector. Give me Mekhi Becton at left tackle. We're going to go for the long term here. And then as for the defensive side, we don't have many defensive needs besides depth, but I thought of two things. Either go edge rusher to upgrade from Alex Highsmith, assuming we let go Bud Dupree, or go corner, which is where I'm going to go here. And I'm going to go with who I thought should have been an All-Pro. I'm going to go with Jair Alexander, and he's going to play opposite of either Joe Hayden or Steven Nelson. It depends who we decide to keep.
Okay, Tick Season on Twitter says, would you trade a receiver in Connor for Kareem Hunt?
No, I wouldn't. Connor doesn't fit the Steelers' style of running. He's more of a zone.
Hunt or Connor? You said
Oh,
Connor.
Punter, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, we need a good punter. Yeah, I think Kareem Hunt would be a terrific addition to the team. You know, he'll get punts all the way inside the 1.
But you wouldn't trade a receiver in James Conner for Kareem Hunt?
No.
No. What back would you want if, say, you traded Connor and a receiver?
Like Chubb, easily. His teammate. Yeah, because Kareem Hunt, he's more of a zone running back. You know, he's really good in like the zone blocking schemes, but Chubb, you know, he can do it all. He can just run downhill. He has the speed to take it outside. And he's my favorite running back, personally. I just love his style of play. And he's tough. And he's got a lot more juice than James Conner. I'll tell you that right now. And that's what the Steelers need.
What receiver would you give up in that trade scenario? Would you want? What do you think would be more realistic? I know you'd rather do a fifth string receiver, but who would be like more realistic for that trade to happen if it was for Chubb and not Connor?
And it has to be one of Deontay Johnson, James Washington, or Juju.
It has to be Juju, right? Because he's on a contract. You know, it's either we re-sign him or we don't. And, you know, because of our cap situation, even though, you know, I'll say this, you know, Deontay, he's our best overall receiver, you know, route running and like just his footwork. You know, his hands have been inconsistent, but if he can fix that up, which he did at the end of the year, you know, ever since he got benched in the Bills game, he really picked up his hands. Most upside goes to Chase Claypool. You know, he's got the speed size combination, and you know he's got some pretty underrated route running. Which
and he's a Canadian.
And he's a Canadian.
Canadian, eh?
But our most reliable is Juju, bar none. He's got, you know, I think I saw a stat. He's top 5 in least drops this season. You know, so he's got some really reliable hands, and he's got that Pittsburgh toughness when he's on the field. You know, he's a great, you know, blocker in the run game. But because he's on a contract year, I think it has to be him.
Yeah, I feel like that'd be more realistic. I mean, I don't think y'all would ever trade with the Browns to begin with, but in that scenario, yeah, I think Juju would be the guy they'd give up. But since you guys all went over your team, I'll go over my team. I know we said non-quarterback, but I'm just gonna give 2 options. If I was gonna do a quarterback, so we obviously need one. You know, fuck it, I'll do the Deshaun Watson one. That's kind of likely, you know. So I mean, I'll take Deshaun Watson. But if we're doing non-quarterback, I would say I'd say offensive lineman. I would say Bakhtiari. We do need a left tackle, but I would go Quentin Nelson. I think we need a left guard as well. I'd go Quentin Nelson, roll with one of the guys that we already have at tackle for our left tackle for the time being. But I think Quentin Nelson would change our offensive line for sure.
You guys are too harsh,
man. Sorry, I just wanted to put some comments in before you know, make sure y'all know what's being said. But yeah, I'd do Quentin Nelson. He's been a stud since he came in the league. He'd for sure revamp our offensive line if he's blocking for Shitwater, if he's blocking for Deshaun Watson or Trey Lance or whoever we decide to get. Hold on 1 second.
Oh, is he getting a bobblehead or something?
No, my laptop is dying, so I need to get my charger real quick. What's it called? So, yeah, I'd go Quentin Nelson to be able to block for Deshaun Watson if that was the case. Not Shitwater because he's gonna get traded to Houston, hopefully. But yeah, it'd be Quentin Nelson. Defense, I'd want to say we need help on defense for sure. I would say. If I say corner, I was gonna say Alexander or you say Ramsey, one of the top corners, or I'd say Devin White. That's how good he was this year and how good he's been, his first 2 years. And I'd go Devin White as another linebacker. And since you already said Alexander, I'll go Devin White. We need someone. Obviously, Jeremy Chin, he's been playing linebacker and safety. He's been all over, but we still need another linebacker. Shaq Thompson's all right, but like he's not Devin White. Devin White has more of a future than Shaq Thompson at this point. Kuechly's retired. I wish Kuechly would have been there to play with Jeremy Chin this year. That would have been more exciting for sure because they've been, he kind of reminds me of Kuechly's all over the field making tackles. So, I feel like we need a for sure Kuechly replacement, and that Shaq Thompson's not the answer. So I would say someone like Devin White, a younger guy that's going to be in the league for a while. So yeah, those would be my two players: Quentin Nelson, who's a great guard who's young, and then Devin White, who has potential to be one of the best backs in the league, who's also young as well. Why wouldn't anyone touch Earl Thomas asking for a friend?
Why over a tackle, Caleb?
Huh?
Why a guard over a tackle?
Because I was trying to switch it up because we erased David Bakhtiari. But also Quentin Nelson, because Quentin Nelson's a stud, and we do need a left guard as well.
Yeah, fair.
I mean, we did draft Greg Little. We still have Dennis Daly, Trent Scott's. I know you Charger fans are familiar with him. He's about to be he's supposed to be a free agent though. Russell Okung was a bum. Obviously, Russell Okung, I don't want that fucker back, and I don't care about him being paid in Bitcoin. Get paid like a normal person. But what's it called? Yeah, I just read that Quentin Nelson. That motherfucker's been all pro his first 3 years in the league. He's been all pro every year. So man, he's been balling. So I'd want the Panthers to take Quentin Nelson to block for Deshaun Watson, and then defense. I can go defensive tackle to pair with Derek Brown, or I can go a linebacker, and I can go someone in the secondary because obviously we need those. We need help in those categories, obviously. So, but yeah, I'd say Devin White though, just because we need that for sure, like Luke Kuechly replacement. Obviously, Shaq Thompson's been in the league for like 5-6 years now. Tahir Whitehead is a bum. He's bound to be a free agent. I know you're familiar with Tahir Whitehead, X.
Oh yeah, Tahir Whitehead's not it. He's a good guy though. I mean, he's a really good locker room guy. He's not. He's a
veteran, but you just need to hang him up, man. At that point, you need to hang him up.
He has no pass coverage ability in the slightest. He's not. He wasn't bad on the run for the Raiders. I'm not gonna lie, but he's just not. He had no pass coverage skills.
Would you all want Earl Thomas in your locker room? Would you want Earl Thomas on your team?
I mean, we don't need him, so.
I'd rather have Earl Thomas than Eric Harris and Jonathan Abram. I mean, the locker room stuff is pretty bad, but you can't get any
trains in the locker room. Or yeah, he is kind of a bad locker room dude. He was known for being late in practice, and man, he's obviously a help. He has the talent, but he's also getting older. Is he worth the money? Is he worth the drama and the antics? I'd stay away from him. For the Panthers, if I was speaking for the Panthers,
I'll take half a season of Earl Thomas than Eric Harris.
I mean, if that was the key piece to help your team, I guess to get to a Super Bowl, if you're in that position, I guess I'd do it. But knowing that we're in a rebuild, it's not necessary for us to get him. But yeah, for everyone that's watching, if you feel free to comment who would you want, and on defense and offense. Until then, I'll let you guys comment. But you guys got some good players that make sense for you guys' teams, I think. Plus teams would rather trust new rookies than a problem like it makes sense.
Definitely.
And also Earl's not 2 years in, 3 years in. He's like 10 plus seasons in now, so it's like, is he really worth him his age? And he's had injury history, he's had locker room history, so it's I don't think, to me, it's not worth the drama in my locker room. Cowboys fans here in Dallas were begging for Earl Thomas to land here, and him going back playing for Texas and all that, man, I understand why. You guys do need secondary help too, so I can see why you guys want him. Dallas fans want him. Do you think how about this? Do any of you guys do you guys think Earl Thomas plays another down in the league?
I don't really see it. If he was, I feel like he'd have a job by now, especially with teams like the Raiders who have Eric Harris and aren't even looking his way.
LaMarcus Joyner.
For me,
That-
I
needs like a playoff push.
yeah,
What was that?
I think that like teams gave him like the rest of the year off to like reflect on what he did with. I don't think we should talk about it. I think we're gonna know by now.
Man, we all know what happened.
But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he was on a team at the start of next season.
I definitely wouldn't be surprised, but I don't really see it happening.
Man, what was that though? Like, why, Earl? I'm
It made
sorry.
for good memes. It made for
I'm
good
sorry,
memes.
bro. I can't let it go.
Hey man, he was a meme with Derrick Henry for till this day, you know. So
It was a nasty lead blocker.
he was a lead blocking for Derrick Henry. And then Josh Gordon's still suspended, I guess. I mean, he's probably done at this point. But yeah, if anyone wants to, chime in on our discussion, feel free. If not, it's all good. This was Daily Football Zone Live, episode 11. Yeah, it's been a long week for me. If you didn't catch the beginning, I survived my miracle car crash. I'm here and well. Nahum's a busy student at UCLA paying expensive rent that we talked about earlier before we got on here. Jake's still hurting from that loss from the wild card, and then X is still hurting from that. This how they lost at the end of the year. So man, we all hurting right now. But but yeah, everyone. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. It was a fun episode. Looking forward to talking to you guys again next week. I want to thank you guys, my co-hosts, Jake, Naomi, and X. I hope you guys stay safe. COVID's only getting worse at this point. This is pretty much be it for the show. This is pretty much it for tonight. So yeah, I want to thank you guys. And you guys got anything to say before we head out?
Thank you for having us.
Thank you guys. And thanks, tick season. It could have been worse, I could be in the hospital right now. I could have been in a coma. I could have broke a bone. I could have been dead. I could have, not have crashed. I could, life works in funny ways. I'm just happy to be alive, man, because you only get one life. I'm happy to be here. And who knows, I probably wouldn't have been able to get this episode out. We wouldn't be able to come live for you guys if, if something happened differently. So, this, take everything, appreciate everything you guys got. It could be in worse situations, but yeah, that's it for Daily Football Zone Live episode 11. I don't want to keep ranting to you guys because we've been on for about almost 90 minutes now. So you guys stay safe. Looking forward to the next episode. Maybe it'll be Sunday night after the games. We haven't really discussed it. I know we need to get on a set schedule though, but we'll figure that out. But yeah, you guys have a great week. Okay.
Yeah, all you guys, all the viewers, all the comments. Thank you guys. We appreciate it.
All right, y'all. You got anything, Nahum X? Or are you guys good?
I'm good, man.
All right, y'all. Y'all stay safe.
Go Steelers.
Hey, no, hold on. Before I go out, I just hope by next episode Deshaun Watson's with the Carolina Panthers. I just wanted to say that before we leave. See
I
y'all
don't think
later.
they'll do the trade so soon.
Hey, I'm hoping for it, man. I don't care when it happens. I just hope it is soon. But if not, I'll take it a month from now. I just hope he goes to the Panthers.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be like at least maybe a month and a half before we see anything close.
Yeah, if anything, it'll be in the off season for sure after the Super Bowl if it happens. But let's hope it goes to the Panthers though. All right, y'all.